If you perform or like to do kids magic, then this is for you. Welcome back guys to another review on the Magic Alon channel. I am so happy to be here. I have a ton of notes for today's review and I'm super excited because I am obviously not in my usual location as you guys are probably used to. Maybe you're watching this video for the first time on my channel, for example, so this is new to you. Or anybody who's a recurring viewer, I want to thank you so much for all your support in this channel. But as you'll realize, I am not where I usually am. I'm usually located in the Czech Republic in Prague, but now I'm joining in from France because I have permanently moved. That's also why I haven't uploaded some reviews for the last few weeks, and very soon I'll be uploading more and more content every week, I hope so. I am currently in university in the lovely Paris, which is super exciting. I've been settling in very slowly, hence the slow videos, but I'm back and ready to give you guys a brand new review of something super exciting to me. But if you are new to this channel and you are noticing this background, very soon it will be green screened away and you won't have to see this. But I do always appreciate it if you leave a like, or even better, hit that subscribe button on this channel because it really helps me push, especially in university. Balancing my YouTube videos and my studies is going to be really tricky. So your support really means a lot to me. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and it means the world to me. But without further ado, I'm so excited because Penguin Magic have sent me this incredible Penguin Live, and I've noticed not many reviewers are reviewing Penguin Lives, and I totally get why, but I totally believe you guys should be watching this and checking out Penguin Lives as much as possible, because Penguin Lives are masterclasses. They're not really downloads, they're entire masterclasses of tons and tons of material, and there's so many great ones. But today I've had the pleasure to choose to review the amazing Penguin Live by Nikola Arkane. And if you don't know who she is, she's one of the greatest kids performers and entertainers there are to this date. She's funny, she's amazing, she goes by her completely different persona when she's a kids performer called Fizz Whiz Pop, and it just makes her stand out. There's so many kids performers and entertainers I see nowadays repeating all sorts of effects, and I might be guilty of that too sometimes as a kids performer myself. But Fizz Whiz Pop / Nikola Arkane, she does her performances in ways I've never seen before. She's engaging to watch, she's funny, her kid shows are just masterclasses. The only other person I can think of that's as good as her is maybe Mario the Maker Magician, who's another level himself. You're getting in this Penguin Live essentially a masterclass by an expert in kids magic. And obviously, as this is a download, the tutorial section of this review is going to be very heavy. But before we get to that, let me just give you an overview of what this is and what you're getting, because essentially you're getting a 2 hours and 11 minutes video teaching you all these effects. But before that, which is really cool, you don't get this often a lot, and this might be worth the value of the price in its entirety, is you are getting a full 55 minutes kids show in the P3 Theater in Columbus, Ohio, and you are getting her entire Fizz Whiz Pop magic show that she actually does to people that pay her, money to go and watch, and you're getting that as a part of this masterclass that you're getting with getting this Penguin Live, which is phenomenal of them to offer at Penguin Magic. So that is what you're getting. And in that, you get to see everything from her exact scripting, how she interacts live with kids, parents, and all sorts. It's amazing. But then on top of that, as I said, you're getting this 2-hour video where she goes over explanations of all her original routines, but she also talks about the comedy she does. She talks about how to engage the audience, the lines she uses, the scripting that she does in order to make the show so engaging. So that's just as an added bonus. Well, really, the main Penguin Live is you're learning, right? You're learning her routines and everything, but you're also getting the show, which is fascinating. So let's jump into this tutorial itself and what you're getting outside the show. As I said earlier, you're getting a 2 hours and 11 minutes video, which is of course amazingly hosted by Eric Tate himself, the man behind Penguin. He's absolutely incredible, and he's asking Nikola a bunch of questions throughout to keep it engaged, and his questions are very, very great, and Nikola answers them to her best of her ability, and most of the time absolutely perfectly. So you're getting a ton of extra value from that too. But let's just dive into straight away what you're getting, like in its entirety, what's taught by Nikola. So it starts off with this thing they call the epic debut, which is how to introduce yourself to children and to the parents that are watching, because the first part, the start of a kids show, as a kids performer myself, I completely agree and understand, it is so pivotal and important that you engage the kids straight away, whether it's with something really visual and something strong, or a really important way to get the kids to watch you during the whole show. Because when you perform to really young kids, they're going to walk around the stage, they're gonna mess around, they're gonna make jokes, they're gonna start kind of heckling you, and it's important because kids are honest, is what we say. They're too honest, which is hard for you as a performer. That's why lots of magicians tend to not do kids magic, because they're a little bit afraid to take that risk. But Nikola teaches you exactly how to not worry about it, how to go ahead with this entire experience and make everybody feel engaged and hooked straight away at the very beginning of the show. And she has a full deep discussion on this and how to enter the stage, how to maybe even have a character. It's all these really important things, which again, are huge in the value you're getting in this Penguin Live. Then you're starting to learn all these routines and tricks, starting with what she calls the appearing cane and something called the chameleon silk. Now, the appearing cane is a classic of magic, but Nikola goes over all her different variations of it, how to make it much bigger. She goes over this concept of 2D to 3D, of how to make things big, 3D, taking advantage of all the environment and spacing you have on a stage. And then you even get taught like how to do it in smaller areas, if you're performing in a smaller house party, for example, or in a bigger stage to a lot of kids, how to do this effect, this appearing cane in a perfect way. And then she also goes over these chameleon silks, which are these black silk, which turns into colors, and you can reveal a message, which is really, really cool. Actually, the message I'm confusing, because that's the next thing, something she teaches called the 21st century silks, which, by the way, she goes over tons of comedy for this one routine. And actually, in the whole Penguin Live, you get a lot of comedy, but she goes over a lot of comedy in this specific routine. And this is like where you have two handkerchiefs, and I'm just going to read the exact copy of this. You have the two handkerchiefs together, and you make a third handkerchief appear in the middle with a message. So it could say happy birthday or whatever you wanted to say. That's up to you. Which is a really cool, fun visual thing and really customized to the show you're doing, which is really nice. And then, believe it or not, you're getting another silk routine. Nikola is clearly obsessed with silks, and I completely understand why. It's perfect kind of prop to have in your kids' shows. It's very visual, it's very big, it's very colorful, and those are the sort of elements you want in a kids' show, of course. So she does another routine called the end of a rainbow, but this is where she has a production of 6 different colored silks, but then she also has a black and white drawing of a rainbow, which actually becomes colored, and with a kicker ending, which is super cool. And you actually learn how to kind of buy these and how to use them throughout the show, how to make these mechanical butterflies appear. And she goes into a lot of detail and concepts behind these mechanical butterflies, like kind of how you can buy them and how you can use them in your shows, when to use them. She talks about these things called callbacks to getting back to other moments in the show later on, and all sorts of stuff that is really, really interesting. And I just absolutely loved her theory and ideas on it, like how she came up with it. And then she's giving you all these applications of how to use them in your show, especially with these mechanical butterflies. So it's really, really cool. Then on top of that, you're also getting a really fun sponge bowl routine, which she can't teach all of it, but then later on she teaches her variations and her adaptations of this really cool sponge bowl routine, which is always nice for kids. And then this is actually maybe my favorite routine out of everything, because I perform a really similar routine in my kids show. And from this Penguin Live, I really like this idea of it that I'm gonna add to my own kids show. And it's kind of this big kind of chair test with, well, it has no chairs at all, but it's kind of that concept of routine where essentially you have free paper birthday bags right on stage, and inside they have a gift, and you actually give out gifts to like free kids. And then you say you have 3 different colored like big envelopes, and inside they have a clue of something related to an animal, because you have all these animals inside these bags, and essentially they put the envelope next to whatever bag they want to. They make all the decisions, they choose, and then you take out of the envelope the clue. Let's say the clue is a carrot, then there's a bone, then there's bananas, and then you open it up and you reveal that the carrot matches a bunny. Then the bone matches a dog, and the bananas match a monkey, and it's a perfect match. They chose where to put the envelope next to which bag, and it's this incredible miracle. But what I love is she also goes over how to customize this routine for different sort of events, like Halloween, for example, how you can have a blood file, or the bone still fits Halloween, or you can make it a pumpkin, or whatever you want. You can fit it, and in general, you can make it into, I like to incorporate hobbies of different kids when I do birthday party shows, so you can ask like the parents ahead of time what sort of hobbies they have. They might like ballet, so you put some ballet objects, and it's just such a clever idea of a routine, and it's so simple. yet it's so strong. So I absolutely love it. And she goes over how it works and so much other details, why this routine works so perfect. Then you're getting a really cool routine called the odd pairing, which is a really classic socks prediction routine, but Nikola has her own touch to it. So a really nice adaptation of an Eric Mead trick called the 1-1, which is a classic with a socks prediction trick, and she has her variations. Really, really cool. And then you get generally so much more stuff, like another routine called the diamond in the rough, which is a big effect of the classic a tale of 9 principle, but she makes it a stage piece, because this is usually not a stage piece. She makes it a stage piece where kids walk on mats, and then there's a prediction and there's comedy, and it just moves the show, and it's just such a masterpiece of artwork that Nikola creates. And throughout the entire Penguin Live, it's so entertaining to watch too, and you get a ton of value from it, from everything, which brings me on to the positives. Let's talk about the positives, because there's tons. And the first one being, as I said earlier, you're not only getting the routinings and the instructions, but you're also getting a full show, which is so different, because sometimes magicians just say, oh, here's a trick, I'll quickly do it and explain how it's done. In this case, you do that, but on top of that, you're getting a full show, which creates flow. You get to see how all of these routines connect together. They're not just random routines from different shows. They're all routines from one massive show. And you get to see her doing her real work in the real world, which is absolutely fascinating and amazing. On top of that, you're not only learning routines. This is the coolest part. You're also learning how to do comedy to keep the kids engaged. And comedy is such an important element in kids shows, whether they're like 5-year-old kids or they're like teenagers. It's so important to keep them engaged somehow. And you can do that by being funny, whether it's like a clownish funny or genuinely being funny. So it's completely up to you, but Nikola gives you all of those tips, and it's so amazing. On top of the tricks, again, she teaches you how to stage your performance, how to actually create a kids show from scratch if you wish to. You're also learning how to move around on stage, take advantage of your area, take advantage of your stage. You're learning how to talk, how to script, even the pacing of your show in order to keep the kids engaged, to create mystery, to create different emotions. This is the beauty of this Penguin Live. On top of that, she also talks about how to keep the parents engaged too in the show, which is so important, because the parents at the end of the day are the customers, which is funny because it's the kids, really, it's their show, but the parents are the ones that are booking you, right? So you need to keep the parents engaged too. They need to see their kids having fun, but the parents also need to have fun. She gives you a lot of subtleties and tips on doing that too. And overall, in all honesty, her explanations are amazing of all the routines. She's just a funny, natural performer, and you can see that she's been in the art form for so long and she knows exactly what she's doing and what she's talking about. And just quickly, some negatives. It's hard with a Penguin Live, and especially as you're noticing, I'm being really positive about all this because it truly is a great Penguin Live for someone to watch, especially if you want to get into kids magic or are a kids performer. But the only negative I've really had with this is it seems to repeat in 90% of the routines, at least, that all of them are very prop heavy. So like, it's not stuff you can do straight away. Some of them you can, for example, but most of them like require you to have these silks or classical kids magic that you can buy in any magic shop you wish, like Penguin Magic. But she gives you her variations on how you can like adapt them, which is absolutely amazing. But it means that if you want to use the routines that she teaches, you're going to have to get and buy a bunch of other props, which is totally fine, because what I believe is the biggest value, and totally worth its value in this case, is you're getting all these inspiring different routines of how to inspire you to create your own kid show, or maybe you do own these routines and how to adapt them, but also you're learning how to be a better kids performer for your style, your comedy, your engagement that you deliver. And I think that's what's the special thing, and that's what you should be taking away from this Penguin Live, rather than the specific routines. But that's up to you again, and I just wanted to make it clear that yes, a lot of them are prop heavy, and that's going to be important to some of you at the end of the day. And last but not least, the question is, how much does this cost, and is this worth it? It is $40, and that is quite the usual Penguin P3 Live that you'll have. Some of them are a little cheaper, but most of them are $40, and of course it's worth it. But it's only worth it if you are a kids performer, of course. Like if you are a hardcore mentalist and that's all you do, then yeah, of course this will have no need for you in your repertoire. Maybe you just want it because you're interested in the show, or you're just curious, maybe, then get it. But if you're a kids performer, yes, you should be picking this up. It'll make you a better kids performer, no matter what, instantly, straight away, because it'll inspire you and engage you. You can be the best kids performer in the world, but you'll learn something new from this for sure. But on the other hand, this is also good if you're getting into kids magic, or you've always wanted to. This is the perfect starting point for you to do that. I highly believe that and understand. I've been doing kids magic for a long time, and I found so many subtleties and golden nuggets from this Penguin Live, and so will you. And there's a problem, because lots of magicians tend to stick to one kind of magic. They just do, you know, corporate shows or whatever, but they don't go to kids magic. And I think being a kids magician is, and I know Craig Petty says this a lot too, is probably the hardest thing. And they're the bravest kind of magicians out there because it's one of the hardest kinds of magic you can do. And by doing that, you can practically do all kinds of magic. So a lot of people aren't diversifying enough. And I think anybody should really be able at least to do kids magic, just in case, because if someone is going to hire you and they're going to say, oh, you know, could you do kid shows? And then you're like, I don't know. Well, what are you going to do? But it's always nice to be able to do kid shows, even if you're not a kids performer, just in case. And that's why this Penguin Live is totally worth it. So yes, I do believe so, and you should pick this up for sure. With that done, thank you so much for watching. As I said, I'm currently in France. Hopefully by the next review, I think I'll still have this background, but very soon I'll be back into my nicer background using a green screen here. But I am in France, I am in university, so I am sorry if I don't upload as often as I can, but we still have my magic community, which you guys should check out in the link in the description. We still have events every 1.5 months on there, and we also have our weekly jams on there, so it's absolutely amazing. We have some really crazy stuff coming in the community, so you should join. It's free, you get a ton, but on top of that too, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and even leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought about this review. I'm so curious. Are you a kids performer? Are you interested in picking this up? Do you already own it? I am super curious. Let me know. Smack that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Magic Alon out.